Once upon a time, a great war broke out. When the war ended, many soldiers were discharged. The happy young man was also discharged from the army, and at that time the only assets he brought with him were bread and 4 cross-shaped coins. He set out to return just like that. At that time, Saint Petrus pretended to be a poor beggar sitting on the side of the road. When the young man happily passed by, he held out his hand and asked for alms. He happily said, "Dear beggar, what can I tell you? I was originally a soldier, but now that I have retired, my assets are just a loaf of bread and 4 cross-shaped coins. Nothing else. If those things run out, I will have to sit and beg like you. But I in number 39, be happy to give you some." Having said that, he divided the bread into 4 parts, gave 1 part to that disciple of Jesus, and also gave another cross-shaped coin. Saint Petrus said thanks and walked away. Next he turned into another beggar sitting on the side of the road that the soldier had to pass. When the young man happily came forward, as before, he held out his hand again and asked for alms. The happy boy said the same words as before, again giving a quarter of a loaf of bread and a cross-shaped coin. After thanking Saint Petrus, he left, then turned into another beggar and sat on the side of the road for the 3rd time to ask the young man to be happy. He gave him a 3rd portion of bread and a cross-shaped coin. Saint Petrus gave thanks. He continued walking. The cheerful boy was now left with only a quarter of a loaf of bread and a cross-shaped coin. He went to a roadside restaurant, sat down to eat the remaining bread and bought a coin of beer to drink. After eating and drinking, he set off again. At that moment, Saint Petrus turned into a discharged soldier like him, walked towards him and asked, "Hello, friend, can you give me a piece of bread and a coin to drink beer?" The young man happily replied, "Now where can I get those things? I am a discharged soldier, with nothing but black bread and 4 cross-shaped coins. But when I met 3 beggars on the road, I gave each of them a quarter of bread and a cross-shaped coin. I ate the remaining bread at the restaurant along the way, and with the last cross I bought beer to drink. Now the bag is empty. If you are the same, let and number 39 go begging together." Saint Petrus said, "No, that and number 39 not begging. I know a little about the medical profession, so I can earn whatever I need." "Fine." The young man happily said, "I Don and number 39 know anything about the medical profession, so I have no choice but to beg alone." Saint Petrus said, "Then go along. If I earn money, I will give you half." The boy happily said, "Then there and number 39 nothing better." And the 2 set off. They arrived in front of a farmer and number 39's house and heard loud wailing inside the house. When they entered, they saw a seriously ill man lying barely breathing, and a woman wailing. Saint Petrus said, "Don and number 39 cry, Don and number 39 scream any more. I will help your husband get well again." Having finished speaking, Saint Petrus took out a type of petroleum jelly from his pocket and rubbed it on the man, and in the blink of an eye the patient recovered. He stood up and was perfectly well. The man and his wife were very happy and said, "We Don and number 39 know how to thank you. What can we give you?" But Saint Petrus didn't and 39 want anything. The more the 2 farmers pleaded, the more he refused. The young man happily nudged Saint Petrus on the shoulder and said, Just accept a little. There are times when we also need to use it. Finally, the woman brought out a sheep, telling St. Petrus that he must accept it. But St. Petrus still refused to accept it. At that time, the young man happily pushed his companion aside and said, "Just accept it, idiot. We need it too." St. Petrus had to agree and said, "Okay, I accept this sheep. But I won and number 39. Carry it. If you want it, then carry it." The boy happily said, "No problem. I in number 39 am ready to carry it on my shoulders." Having said that, the young man carried the sheep on his shoulders. They set off again, and came to a forest. Suddenly the young man happily felt that the sheep had become heavier and was even more hungry, so he said to St. Petrus, "This place is convenient. Can we kill sheep for dinner? I think it and number 39's okay. But I don't and number 39 like cooking. If you want to cook, take this pot. During that time I want to walk around a bit, wait for him to cook and come back. But before I come back, Don and number 39 eat first. I know it and number 39's time to come back," St. Petrus said. "You go ahead, I already know how to cook, and it and number 39's delicious." So St. Petrus left, the young man happily killed the sheep, built a fire, put the lamb meat in the pot, and cooked it. But after the lamb was cooked, Jesus and number 39's disciples still did not return. The young man happily brought out the lamb from the pot and chopped it into small pieces. Suddenly he saw a sheep and number 39's heart. Rumor has it that this dish is the best. The boy said and tried to taste a little, but then kept tasting until he ate all the sheep and number 39's heart. Finally, St. Petrus returned and said, "You can eat the whole sheep. I just want to eat the sheep and number 39's heart. Please get it for me." The young man happily picked up a knife and fork, turned the lamb over and over, looking like he was searching carefully, but how could he find the lamb and number 39's heart? Finally he had to say, "There is no sheep heart. If not, where would you go?" Jesus and number 39's disciples asked. "That I don't and number 39's know. You see, we are really two idiots, trying hard to find the sheep and number 39's heart but not finding it. In fact, this sheep has no heart." "Oh. Strange. All animals have hearts, why doesn't and 39's this sheep have one?" "No. Really no, brother. Sheep Don and number 39's have hearts. You just have to think carefully and you and number 39's realize, sheep really have no heart." St. Petrus said, "Okay. This looks like it and number 39's done. If I Don and number 39's have a heart, I won and number 39's eat any mutton, so you can eat it all alone. I won and number 39's eat it all. The remaining amount will be put in a bag to take with you." The boy happily finished speaking and ate half of the sheep, putting the rest in the bag. They continued on their way. St. Petrus then used magic to create a large river blocking the path, forcing them to cross that river. St. Petrus said, "Go first." "No, I and number 39's go first." The boy happily answered, thinking in his heart, and quote, "If the river water is very deep, I won and number 39's cross the river any more," and quote. At that time, St. Petrus waded across the river, the river water only reached his knees. So the young man happily wanted to wade across, but the river water suddenly swelled up to his neck. So the boy cried out, "Brother, save me quickly." Saint Petrus said, "Do you admit that you ate that sheep and number 39's heart?" "Or not?" The boy happily replied, and quote, "I have never eaten a sheep and number 39's heart." And quote. Then the water continued to rise, up to the chin of the happy boy, making him cry out, "Quickly save me, brother." Saint Petrus asked again, "Do you admit that you ate that sheep and number 39's heart?" "No, I have never eaten a sheep and number 39's heart." The boy answered. But Saint Petrus did not want to drown the boy, so the river water receded so the boy could cross the river. They continued on their journey and reached a kingdom, where they heard that the princess was on the verge of death. The jovial boy said to Saint Petrus, "Oh my, brother! This catch is quite good. Once the princess gets well, we will be satisfied for the rest of our lives." Seeing Saint Petrus still calm, the jovial young man urged, "Come on, step up a bit, kind friend. We have to get there on time." Saint Petrus was still on his toes, despite the jovial boy and number 39's constant urging. Then they heard the news: the princess had died in the hospital bed. The boy happily said, "As cool as you are, you and number 39, they ruined the job." Saint Petrus replied, "Just calm down, I can not only cure the sick child back to health, but can also bring the dead back to life. If you can do that, then try it. If we can do this, half of this country will be ours." The two went into the palace. A painful atmosphere pervades this place. Saint Petrus told the king that he could bring the princess back to life. Saint Petrus was led to the princess and number 39's room. He said, "Bring me a pot of water." When the pot of water was brought, he told everyone to leave, only the funny guy could stay. Then he cut the limbs off the body and put them all in the pot. He built a fire and boiled it until the meat fell off the bones. Then he picked out the bones and arranged them in the correct order of the human body. Having finished arranging, he took a step forward and said 3 times, "In the name of all the gods, the dead stand up." When the third sentence ended, the beautiful young princess stood up. The king was very happy and said to Saint Petrus, "If you want, I am willing to give you half of this country." But Saint Petrus said, "I do not ask for anything." The funny guy thought, and quote, "Why are people so stupid?" and quote. He pushed Saint Petrus aside and said, "How could someone be so stupid? You Don and number 39 need it, but I do." Saint Petrus said nothing. The king saw that his companion wanted something, so he told the general to give him a sack full of gold. The two continued on their way. When arriving at a forest, Saint Petrus said to the cheerful young man, "Now let and number 39's divide the gold." The funny guy replied, "That and number 39's right, let and number 39's divide the gold." Saint Petrus brought out the gold and divided it into 3 parts. The young man happily thought, and quote, "This guy has a problem in his head. Divide everything into 3 parts while there are only 2 people." And quote. Saint Petrus said, "I have checked very carefully. 1 part is for me. 1 part is for me. For you, a portion for the person who ate the sheep and number 39's heart." "Oh, I and number 39 am the one who ate the sheep and number 39's heart." The jovial guy said and took that part of gold. Saint Petrus said, "Why did that happen? Sheep Don and number 39 have a heart. Oh my brother, where do you think you and number 39 going? Sheep have a heart like any other animal. Why is this only sheep without a heart? Okay, let it be like that. You keep that gold. But from now on I will go my own way without going with you," said Saint Petrus. "Good friend, it and number 39's up to you. Good luck. The road is safe," the funny guy replied. Saint Petrus turned onto another road and continued his journey. The funny guy thought, it and number 39's good that he went another way. What a strange saint, have money, but Don and number 39's know how to spend it, waste it, and end up with nothing. The funny guy set out. He arrived at the other kingdom and heard that the princess had just passed away. He thought, and quote, "Well, that and number 39's a lucky chance. I will bring her back to life. I will be rewarded handsomely," and quote. So he went to the palace and declared that he could bring the dead back to life. The king heard that there was a retired soldier who could bring the dead back to life. The king guessed that that person might be a funny guy, so he doubted it. The king then asked his servants. The mandarins said that the king should try, because the princess would have died anyway. The funny guy ordered me a pot of water. He told everyone to get out. He cut the limbs from the body, then put them all in the pot. He built a fire to cook like he had seen Saint Petrus do before. He cooked until the meat fell off the bones, then took out the bones and folded them. But because he didn't and hash 39's know how to arrange them, the bones were not in the correct order. When he took a step forward and said, "In the name of all gods, the dead arise," he said that 3 times in a row, but the pile of bones did not move. The boy happily exclaimed, "Girl, that girl, please stand up quickly or something will happen." As soon as he finished speaking, Saint Petrus appeared in the form of a discharged soldier and said, "Godless people, what are you doing? The bones are mixed up, so how can a dead person stand up?" The young man happily replied, "Oh, good friend, I have shown all my talents. This time I will help you escape, but I warn you that if you continue to do this, you will encounter misfortune. You are not allowed to ask the king for rewards or receive wages." Having finished speaking, Saint Petrus arranged the bones in the correct order, then said the incantation 3 times. "In the name of all the gods, the dead arise." As soon as the words ended, the princess stood up, healthy and beautiful. Saint Petrus disappeared through the window. The jovial young man was very happy, because the matter ended well, but because he had promised not to receive a reward, he was angry, thinking, and quote, "I can and number 39's understand this person. He offered this hand, but he took it. Go with the other hand." And quote. The king asked the happy boy what he wanted as a reward, but because he was not told what he wanted, he gestured, and the king sent someone to bring him a bag full of gold. He accepted and carried the bag of gold on his shoulder. As soon as he reached the palace gate, he was stopped by Saint Petrus and asked, "Why is it like that? I forbid you to accept anything. Why did you accept a bag full of gold?" The young man happily replied, "If they force me to take it, I know what to do. I tell you, if this happens again, you will be miserable. Oh, brother, Don and number 39, worry. Now that you have a bag full of gold, there in number 39, no need to do that bone-washing thing. Saint Petrus said, gold will eventually run out. So that you Don and number 39, do it again, I and number 39, give you a miracle. Whatever you wish for, it and number 39, right in your pocket. I wish you happiness, you 1 and number 39, see me again. God bless you. The boy said happily, thinking in his heart, and quote, what a strange guy. I and number 39, am happy if you go, but why should I follow you? And quote. The funny guy carried the bag of gold around without thinking about the miracle of the bag. He wasted no time swinging like the first time. When he had only 4 coins left, stamped with a cross, it was time for him to enter the restaurant. He thought, and quote, let a number 39 spend it all, and quote. He spent 1 penny on food and 3 pennies on wine. While the jovial guy was eating and drinking, he smelled the smell of roast goose. Looking around, he saw the innkeeper roasting 2 geese. He suddenly remembered his companion and number 39's advice. Whatever he wished for, it was in his pocket. He thought, and quote, wow, I want those 2 roasted geese. And quote. Then he went out, stood in front of the shop door and said, I hope those 2 roasted geese fly into the bag. As soon as he finished speaking, he opened the bag and saw 2 roasted geese already in the bag. He said, God, that and number 39's right. What a wish to see. He went out to the pasture, took the goose and roasted it to eat. While he was eating deliciously, 2 workers came forward. They stared at the roasted goose that he had not touched. The young man happily thought, and quote, I and number 39, be full after eating just 1. And quote. He called the other 2 people and said, take this roasted goose and eat it. Remember to wish me good health when you eat. They thanked him, brought the roast goose into the restaurant, ordered wine and bread, and then put the goose on the table to eat. The innkeeper and number 39's wife saw the roast goose and said to her husband, these 2 people have roast goose. Try to see if the roast goose is still in our oven. The husband went in to look at the oven to roast the goose, saw that there was only 1 oven. So he shouted, thieves, are you planning to eat the roast goose for nothing? Pay now to eat, otherwise you and number 39 be beaten to death. The 2 guests replied, we are not thieves. This roast goose was given to us by the soldier sitting on the grassland. Don and number 39, you dare cross me. The soldier did come here, but he was an honest person. With my own eyes I saw him leaving the shop empty-handed. You guys are the thieves. Pay quickly. They didn't and #39 have money to pay, so the shop owner grabbed a stick and chased them out of the shop. The young man happily continued his journey. He came to an area with a large and beautiful castle, and nearby was an inn. He entered the inn and wanted to rent a bed for the night. The innkeeper refused and said, "There is no more room here, only luxury guests rent." The young man happily said, "How strange, a luxurious guest dozen and #39 live in a big, beautiful castle." The shop owner replied, "It has its reason. Anyone who goes there to sleep at night will hardly survive until the next morning." The boy happily said, "If someone dares to try, why Don and number 39, I dare to try." The innkeeper said, "Be careful, losing your life is like playing a game. How can I die right away? Just give me the keys and the food and drinks." So the innkeeper gave him food and drinks. The cheerful boy entered the castle, took out his food and ate deliciously. After eating, he felt sleepy. Because there was no bed, he lay down on the floor and fell asleep. Late at night he was awakened by a commotion. He calmly looked around and saw 9 demons in the room. They held hands and danced in a circle around him. He happily said, "You guys can dance as long as you want, but Don and number 39, get too close to me." The demons kept circling, their dirty feet getting closer to him. The young man happily shouted, "Leave me alone, devil." But the more they rioted, the more angry he became, and he shouted, I and number 39, make you all quiet." He used a chair to smash them, but how could one person fight against 9? When he attacked in front, the ones behind rushed in and grabbed his hair and pulled him. "You flying devils! I and number 39, am so upset with you guys. Wait and see. All 9 demons right in the bag," he screamed. As soon as he finished speaking, all 9 demons were in the bag. He tied a knot and threw the bag into a corner. Now the room is quiet again. The boy happily slept until dawn. At that time, the innkeeper and the nobleman who owned the castle came over to see if anything was happening. Seeing the young man happily smiling, they were very surprised and asked, "Can and number 39, the demons do anything to you?" "Why can and number 39, you do anything? Now all 9 demons are in my pocket. From now on, you can live in the castle with peace of mind. No more demons will come here to cause trouble." The noble thanked him and rewarded him with many things, and invited him to stay at the castle, promising to fully provide for him. The young man happily replied, "No, I and number 39, am used to living here and there, I just want to go." The boy happily went on his way. He went to a smithy, placed the bag on the blacksmith and number 39's anvil, and asked the blacksmith and his assistant to hammer the bag. They pounded their hammers as hard as they could, and the demons in the cello screamed loudly. A moment later he opened the bag and saw 8 dead demons. The 9th one was still alive. It slipped out of the bag and ran back to hell. Right after that, the funny guy set off to travel the world again. Who knows where he went? I and number 39, am free to tell. Time passed quickly. Now he was an old man. He went to meet a hermit famous for his compassion for people and said, "I have traveled all over the world. Now all I can do is hope to go to heaven." The hermit replied, "There are only 2 roads in the world. The road to hell is wide and easy to travel. The road to heaven is both narrow and difficult to travel." The young man happily thought to himself, "And quot, only an idiot would walk on a path that is both narrow and difficult to walk." And quot, he set out, choosing a wide, easy road to follow. Finally he arrived in front of a large black gate, the gate of hell. The boy happily knocked on the gate. The gatekeeper looked out to see who it was. He was startled and frightened when he saw the happy boy, because he was the 9th demon to escape from his bag. He quickly bolted the gate tightly, then ran back to the leader demon and said, "Outside there is a guy carrying a bag who wants to come in." Don and number 39. T let it in. It can magically stuff all of hell into a bag. He once locked me in that bag and beat me until I was weak. The funny guy was informed that he had to leave this place. He thought to himself, and quote, if they Don and number 39. T want to let me in, I and number 39. LL go to heaven and find a place to stay. And quote. He turned back and continued on his way. He went straight to heaven and number 39's gate and knocked on the gate. At that moment St. Petrus sat guarding the gate. The funny guy recognized it immediately and thought, and quote, I met the right old friend. Maybe everything will go well, and quote, but St. Petrus said, I really can and number 39. T believe that you went to heaven. Brother, let me in. I hope to have a place to go home. If they accepted me into hell, I wouldn't and hash 39. T be here. Or not. You can and number 39. T go in. Saint Petrus said. Okay. If you Don and number 39. T want to let me in, then you get your bag back. From now on, I Don and number 39. T need anything from you anymore. The guy said happily. Saint Petrus said, then bring him here. The boy happily returned the bag through the fence of heaven. Saint Petrus took it, then hung the bag next to his chair. Then, the young man happily said, now I hope, it and number 39. Me in the bag. After the and quote, whoosh and quote, sound, he entered paradise and got into the bag. Saint Petrus had no choice but to let him stay inside. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.